Ever wondered what makes your computer tick? What's actually going on inside that box that lets you browse the web, edit videos, or dominate in your favorite games? Well, today, we're cracking open the case and diving into the 11 major components that power your PC. From the brain of the operation, the CPU, to the unsung heroes like the power supply and cooling system, we're breaking down each part's role and why it matters for your overall computing experience. So, whether you're a seasoned tech enthusiast or just starting to explore the world of computers, this one's for you. Let's get started. First up, we've got the CPU, or Central Processing Unit, often called the brain of your computer. And for good reason. It handles all the heavy lifting when it comes to processing instructions and running your applications. Think of it like this. You click an icon to open a program. The CPU is what takes that click, understands the instruction, and tells the rest of the system what to do. It's constantly calculating, executing instructions, and processing data to make sure everything runs smoothly. Now, within the CPU, you've got cores, which you can think of as individual processing units. More cores generally mean better multitasking performance. Your computer can handle more things at once without slowing down. And then there's cache memory, a super fast type of memory built right into the CPU. This is where the CPU stores frequently accessed data, making the whole system feel snappier. Oh, and many modern CPUs even come with integrated GPUs, which we'll talk about more later. But basically, it's like having a graphics card built right into the CPU, which is pretty awesome for everyday tasks and light gaming. Next, we have the motherboard. And if the CPU is the brain, the motherboard is like the nervous system of your computer. It's this big circuit board that connects all the different components we're talking about. You've got your CPU slotted in there, your RAM, your storage drives, your graphics card if you have a dedicated one. Everything plugs into the motherboard, and it's not just about connecting things physically. The motherboard also facilitates communication between all these different parts. This is where chipsets come in. These are like smaller controllers on the motherboard that manage data flow between the CPU and other components. A well-designed motherboard with robust chipsets is crucial for ensuring all your components can work together efficiently. You can think of it like a well-organized city with efficient infrastructure. The motherboard makes sure data can flow smoothly between different parts of your system, just like roads and transportation systems keep a city running. Different motherboards come with different features and expansion options, so it's definitely a crucial component to consider when building or upgrading your PC. Now let's talk about RAM, which stands for Random Access Memory. This is your computer's short-term memory, and it's where all the magic happens when you're actively using your computer. Think of it this way. You're working on a document, browsing the web, and listening to music all at the same time. Your RAM is what holds all that data that's actively being used by your CPU, allowing it to access it super quickly. The more RAM you have, the more tasks and applications you can juggle simultaneously without your computer slowing to a crawl. It's like having a bigger desk space to spread out your work. There are different types of RAM, with DDR4 being the most common these days. Faster RAM speeds can also give your system a noticeable performance boost, especially for things like gaming and video editing. One important thing to remember is that RAM is volatile memory. That means when you shut down your computer, the data stored in RAM disappears, so make sure to save your work. Chapter 4. Storage, where your data lives long-term. While RAM handles the short-term, we need somewhere to store our operating system, applications, and all our files long-term. That's where storage drives come in. You've got two main types: hard disk drives, or HDDs, and solid-state drives known as SSDs. HDDs are the older technology, and they use spinning platters and a mechanical arm to read and write data. They're generally more affordable and offer larger storage capacities. SSDs, on the other hand, are like a giant flash drive for your computer. They use flash memory, which means no moving parts, and significantly faster read and write speeds. This translates to much faster boot times, quicker application loading, and an overall snappier computing experience. Now, SSDs used to be quite expensive, but prices have come down significantly. They're becoming the standard for both operating systems and frequently used applications, while HDDs are still a good option for mass storage. And then you've got hybrid drives, which combine the speed of an SSD with the capacity of an HDD. They're a good middle ground if you want faster performance but also need a lot of storage space. Chapter 5. the GPU unleashing visual power. Now let's talk graphics. The GPU, or Graphics Processing Unit, is your dedicated graphics card, and it's responsible for everything you see on your screen. From rendering complex 3D environments in games to smoothly playing back high-resolution videos, the GPU handles all the visual heavy lifting. While integrated GPUs like the ones we talked about earlier are great for everyday tasks, a dedicated GPU is a must-have for anyone who's serious about gaming, video editing, 3D rendering, or any other graphically intensive tasks. GPUs come with their own dedicated VRAM or video RAM, which is like the RAM specifically for your graphics card. This allows the GPU to quickly access the textures, models, and other graphical data it needs to render those stunning visuals. Just like CPUs, there's a lot of variety in the GPU market with different levels of performance and price points. Choosing the right GPU depends on your specific needs and budget. Chapter 6. Input devices, telling your computer what to do. So far, we've covered the components that process and display information, but how do we actually interact with our computers? That's where input devices come in. These are the tools we use to send commands and data to the computer. The most common input devices are, of course, the keyboard and mouse. The keyboard lets us input text, use shortcuts, and navigate interfaces, while the mouse gives us precise control over the cursor and allows us to interact with graphical elements. But input devices go beyond just keyboards and mice. You've got touchpads on laptops, touchscreens on tablets, and some all-in-one PCs, microphones for audio input, and webcams for video calls and recordings. Gaming peripherals like joysticks, racing wheels, and flight sticks provide more immersive and intuitive control for specific genres of games. Essentially, anything that lets you input information into your computer can be considered an input device. Chapter 7. Output devices, bringing information to life. Now, input devices send information to the computer, but how do we actually see, hear, or otherwise experience the results of all that processing power? That's where output devices come in. They take the processed data from the computer and translate it into a form we can understand. The most obvious output device is, of course, the monitor. This is our window into the digital world, displaying everything from text documents and web pages to high-resolution images and videos. Modern monitors come in a wide range of sizes, resolutions, and panel technologies. You've got resolutions up to 4K and beyond, offering incredibly sharp and detailed visuals. HDR, or high dynamic range, is another technology that's becoming increasingly common in monitors, providing a wider range of colors and contrast for a more lifelike image. Beyond monitors, we have printers for getting hard copies of documents and photos, speakers for audio output, and headphones for a more private listening experience. And just like input devices, the world of output devices is constantly evolving, with new technologies emerging all the time. Chapter 8. The power supply, the unsung hero. We've talked about the brains, the memory, the graphics, but none of it would matter without a reliable power supply. This often overlooked component is responsible for taking the power from your wall outlet and converting it to usable voltage levels for all the different parts inside your computer. It's like the heart of your computer, pumping the lifeblood of electricity to every component. And just like you wouldn't want a weak or unreliable heart, you don't want to skimp on your power supply. A good quality power supply delivers clean and stable power, which is crucial for the longevity and stability of your components. It also needs to have enough wattage to handle the power demands of all your components, especially if you have a powerful CPU and graphics card. Power supplies come in different efficiency ratings, with 80+ being the most common certification. Higher efficiency means less wasted energy and lower electricity bills in the long run. With all these components working together, things can get pretty hot inside your computer case. That's where the cooling system comes in, ensuring that everything stays within safe operating temperatures. Overheating can lead to performance throttling, system instability, and even permanent damage to your components. A good cooling system is essential for maintaining the health and longevity of your PC. The most common type of cooling is air cooling, which uses heat sinks and fans to dissipate heat away from components like the CPU and GPU. Heat sinks are those metal blocks with fins that you often see attached to components, and they help to increase the surface area for better heat dissipation. For more demanding systems, liquid cooling systems offer superior cooling performance. These systems use a closed loop of liquid to transfer heat away from components to a radiator, where it's then dissipated into the air. The type of cooling system you need depends on factors like the heat output of your components, your budget, and your personal preferences. Now, we can't forget about the case. It's more than just a box to put all your components in. A good case provides protection, airflow management, and aesthetics. It houses and protects all your precious components, keeping them safe from dust, spills, and other potential hazards. A well-designed case also plays a crucial role in airflow management. It should have strategically placed intake and exhaust fans to promote good airflow, ensuring that hot air is expelled from the case and cool air is drawn in. Cases come in all shapes and sizes, from compact mini towers to spacious full towers. Some cases even feature tempered glass side panels, allowing you to show off your build and RGB lighting. Choosing the right case depends on factors like the size of your motherboard, the number of expansion slots you need, and your personal style. Finally, we have the network interface, which allows your computer to connect to the internet or local networks. This can be either a wired connection using an Ethernet card or a wireless connection using a Wi-Fi adapter. Ethernet cards are typically built into the motherboard, providing a reliable and fast wired connection. They're ideal for desktop PCs that are in a fixed location. Wi-Fi adapters, on the other hand, give you the flexibility to connect to wireless networks, making them essential for laptops and increasingly common in desktop PCs as well. Wi-Fi standards have evolved over the years, with Wi-Fi 6 being the latest and greatest, offering faster speeds and better performance, especially in congested areas. Having a reliable and fast network connection is crucial in today's hyper-connected world, whether you're browsing the web, streaming videos, or gaming online. And there you have it. Those are the 11 essential components that make your computer run smoothly. We've covered everything from the brainpower of the CPU to the often overlooked heroes like the power supply and cooling system. Understanding how these components work together gives you a deeper appreciation for the complexity and capability of modern computers. And whether you're building a PC from scratch, upgrading your existing system, or just curious about how things work, I hope this breakdown has been helpful. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of PC components, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tech insights. See you next time.